in Bakersfield, California. This is the Renegade Report.
And now your host, there's only one, Francis Mayer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Renegade Report. I'm Francis Mayer, Sports Information Director for the greatest junior college athletic department in the known universe, BC Athletics. And things are going well in the world of red. You can still get a ticket for the Rooter Bus. You got to call 395-4269. It's $25. It's going to be leaving from the Romaine P. Claroux Fieldhouse on Friday. And it's going to take you to Moore Park, where you'll watch our dominant men's basketball team unfortunately open their playoff run on the road, but that's okay. They're going to bring the title back to Bakersfield. So we have that to look forward to. But first things first, we've got to beat the Moore Park Raiders. And we should really try to outdraw their fans. So call the athletic office at 395-4269. You're going to talk to Alex. She's a real nice lady, and she'll get you squared away with a ticket. So, by the way, I think the cheerleaders are riding the Rooter Bus. And so is Kaylee DeFries of BC Tennis.
Hi.
Hello, Ms. DeFries. How
Hi,
are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Ms. Tucker, how are you?
Great.
Laddie?
How you doing, Francis?
Oh, dude, I'm awesome. I mean, I'm hanging out with the BC women's tennis team that has really been kicking some tails this season. Well done, ladies.
Thank you.
And that's awesome. And people are actually going to have a chance to see you at home today.
Yes.
You're allowed to talk.
Okay, thanks.
That's okay. Now, last time you were on the show, we had a really interesting conversation about where you were born and how you ended up in the United States. And for the folks who weren't watching last week, I thought maybe we could talk about that again. I told you I would get you.
You got me.
It's happening right now.
Yeah.
Here we are. So, what was Vietnam like?
It was great.
No, we're making this up. I told Ms. DeFries that I was going to zing her once we got on live, but now I'm gonna let it go. Who are we playing today?
Santa Barbara.
Okay. How do we match up against them? Is that a tough team?
Definitely, yes. Tough.
Coach Loudy, is this a true story?
Yeah, good team. Right now they're top the conference rankings. They're 3-0 so far, so haven't lost yet.
But we haven't been blown out this season. This women's tennis team, you guys have been very competitive, right?
Yes. Yes.
So do you feel like there's an upset brewing?
I feel we're slight underdogs going in, but I think we're ready. I think as far as matchups are concerned, this team coming off their best overall performance of the season, we're ready to play against Santa Barbara.
And let's talk about that performance.
Sure. Let's talk
Perfect.
about it.
That's the point where you say, well, when we beat up on
when we beat up on Santa Monica, we didn't really beat them up, but from the beginning of the day, we came in and everybody was like, let's get tough today. We started off and played a really, really good team. Singles. These two girls right here really came through for us. One was a set up, one was a set down. They dominated. She dominated the first set. Kaylee dominated the first set. And then, Kaylee came back in the second set, really grinded out a tiebreaker. Riley, the girl upped her level, so she lost the second set. So next thing you know, Kaylee's coming up. Riley's starting to equal out, and in the end, they both won in third sets, and it kind of set the tone for the rest of the team. So it was big. Even the losses from our other girls, they played great. I looked on every court, and I couldn't tell who was winning, who was losing. And as a coach, if I can't tell who's winning and losing, that's a really good thing because everybody came to play that day.
That's interesting. I didn't know that that was a good way to measure, how good a match is going. But it makes sense. Obviously, if somebody is kind of flopping around in the court, you'd realize they were getting beat up and were out of their element. One thing that kind of strikes me about you two, I have two daughters. In fact, today is my daughter Talia's birthday. She's 11 today. And Talia, like a lot of young girls, is really concerned about being the right size. She thinks she's too small. And both of you are great tennis players, but you are different sized people. Riley, you're on the taller end of the spectrum. And Ms. DeFries, you are on the more petite side of the spectrum.
Yes.
But you both hit the heck out of the ball and are competitive. Like, size does not determine success in tennis, does it?
No.
What?
Does it, Riley? No, it doesn't?
No.
Oh, okay, good. All right. What do you think contributes the most to your success this season? Are you in better shape than you were in high school? Is it Coach Loudy? What do you think has been the difference?
I think it's everything. And I think also not necessarily just my like physical aspect of the game, but my mental aspect of the game has gotten a lot stronger.
Really?
That too. Yeah.
How so?
Just when I'm losing or I'm down in a couple of points, I don't get down on myself as much as I did in high school. I kind of try and pump myself up for the next point.
Now, we know Tucker gets a little bit hot, but in high school, did you get angry? Would you start
I think
talking to the
everyone
racket?
does.
I do too. You tennis players scare me.
Yeah.
If I ever turn up missing and an athlete is suspected, I have a feeling it'll be a tennis player. You guys are cut from a different bolt of cloth. Extremely competitive, and the game. I mean, if you go to a tennis match, you realize why. It is a back and forth battle. I mean, not just because the ball goes back and forth, but it is very, very competitive. Mm-hmm. Who are some of the other ladies who have been playing strong this season? Because we've got to talk to you a couple times, but who else would you say has impressed you this season on the team?
I think everyone. Honestly, everyone's been doing really well, and just from the preseason to now, everyone's improved so much, and it's just awesome to see.
Did your tennis teams in high school, were they competitive?
I mean, yeah, they were competitive. But, I mean, everything's competitive. Like, I don't think I'm less competitive now than I was in high school.
Here, I'll ask that question in a less politically correct way. Did your high school team, was it good, or did you guys kind of suck?
We were pretty good. But it varies. Like, it seriously, one year you could be, like, really great, and the next year you could just lose every match almost. Like, it really just depends.
And you don't like that?
No.
No, you're not one of those people that's laughing after a loss.
No.
Right, because we have had, we not to name any specific teams, there was one team in the time that I've been at BC, and it was a women's team, but they would lose, and they just weren't that upset. And it totally was frustrating to me.
Yeah.
Not that I want people to be upset, but in my world, I don't know, there's not much to laugh about after you lose.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe you could smile if you played a world-class team or opponent and say, I hung in there, but not like laughing and making plans for the evening after a loss. I mean, that's tough. What is like a warm-up ritual for you? Do you have a specific way that you get ready for a match? Like, is this interfering with it being here? Because you're going to be on the court in like 3 hours, right?
Yeah. I mean, naps are good.
Naps are always good.
Yeah, but when we get to wherever we're playing or on our home courts, we just warm up all together as a group and stretch and stuff. So that's pretty much it.
No specific foods or anything?
We try not to eat before we play.
Okay, all right. Understand that.
Just wait till you hit 40. Naps are even better.
Oh my God, they are. Naps are one of those things that seriously get better the older you get. Because, like, you try to tell a child it's time for a nap, and they turn into F. Lee Bailey. I mean, they're going to argue with you like they're in front of the Supreme Court. But, you
tell
know.
a 45-year-old, and they're like, woohoo!
Awesome! The day is made! Like, yeah, you don't even have to have a sandwich first. Just the nap period is pretty awesome. And you guys are both incredibly busy. You're full-time students. Are either of you working right now?
No.
Just at your game.
Yes.
All right. And Coach Loudy said that you're going to work at a camp this summer. Is that right?
Yes.
Where are you going?
Massachusetts.
Oh, wow. Have you ever been out of California?
Yeah.
Have you been to the East Coast?
Yeah, I used to live there for 11 years.
Oh, wow. Where'd you live?
Hilton Head Island, South Carolina.
Oh.
Wow, beautiful country.
Yep.
Why is that a famous place, Steve? Is there a golf course there?
I think so,
Yeah.
yeah. It's
They have
kinda
a big
near- and
golf
it's close to
tournament
a lot
there.
of resort areas, a lot of golf, a lot of resorts, beaches.
Yeah. Aren't people really polite in South Carolina?
They are very polite. And when I took a trip to the South in 2010, we went to Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Alabama. Totally different than no knock on people from the West Coast, but still very polite. Yes, sir, no, sir. You know, people, they're different.
We drove through the South on the way to a recruiting trip that my wife went on for work, and we stopped at this gas station. And this guy was like, "Hey, partner." And I was like, "How's it going?" "Pretty good. Where are you headed?" I was like, up the road, man. "Who are you going to see?" And I was like, dude, are you writing a book? You work for the FBI? Like, what's with all the questions? But he was just being really friendly, and he was really concerned and wanted to know what plans we had and where were we going to dinner and stop at this coffee shop. It was sweet, but it just took a little getting used to, because in California we don't really slow down like that so much. Are you going to be teaching tennis at the camp?
Yeah.
Okay. Coach Lottie, do you think that teaching the game makes you a better player? Are we going to see an even better DeFreeze next year?
You know, I think for one, it can teach you things, you know, that have to do with tennis, meaning, you know, maybe patience, understanding situations. And when you're working with kids, you have to have a lot of those things. So I think that experience on the court, being away from home and not really knowing, you know, many people, it kind of makes her grow up out there on the court. And then when she gets out and plays on the team next season, when she's by herself and when she's, you know, when she needs to be patient, when she needs to understand what the situation is, I think that can all but help her.
No, I think it will too. How long are you going to be out there?
Almost 2 months.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
So no summer school for you this year?
No, maybe online.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Man, maybe you just ought to enjoy yourself this summer. I mean, you seem like a good student. Hold on. Hello? No, I'm talking to the tennis team. Well, yeah, it's 11:15. Of course I'm on the air. Because you called. That's why I'm talking to you. Okay. She says good luck. All right. Okay, perfect. Thanks. Sorry, it's my wife. She said good luck, though, against Santa Barbara.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, she never played tennis. So she didn't have any advice, but she did have good luck. So all kidding aside, you're going to be playing Santa Barbara City today. They are a solid team, and they're at the top of things right now. But you guys have been tested before, and you've come through showing us all that you guys are made of stainless steel, and you could win this thing. And there could be, as he said, we're slight underdogs. So if they win, it will be a Cinderella story. But there's a lot of tennis left in the season, and we can't wait to watch you play it. So I'll see you on the hard courts today at Bakersfield College. Admission's free. Come on out and support your women's tennis team. They have absolutely turned it around under the direction of this gentleman, Coach Loudermilk, and they'll continue to do so today. So thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
All right. Coming up next, we're going to check in with Steve Lynch and talk about one of the oh, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. We're going to talk about a curious situation involving men's basketball seedings, plus Rich Hughes and members of the men's basketball team. And we're going to tell you again to sign up for the Rooter Bus, 395-4269. Come support the team while they take it to the road and play Moore Park. There's more Renegade Report coming up next.